Hello and welcome to Meaco. My name is Meaco. I'm founder and managing director of Meaco UK Limited, and welcome to one of our short videos looking at individual products. This time round it's the Meaco 20L dehumidifier. This is actually my personal favourite and the one I use at home. The reason why it's my favourite and it's one that I use at home is because it's right for our application at home. So that doesn't mean to say it's right for every application, but if you're looking for a dehumidifier for a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom house, then this really should be on your shopping list. We use it at home outside the shower room on the landing. The way we use it is that during the day we leave all of the doors open upstairs, and that allows the air to circulate around. That keeps the bedrooms dry, the shower room dry, and stops mould from growing, condensation from appearing in the mornings. At night, when we go to bed, we all tend to keep the bedroom doors closed. To be honest with you, we always used to do that before we had a dehumidifier in the house anyway, so I think that's more of habit rather than anything else. But no one ever complains about the dehumidifier disturbing their sleep, and everyone's quite happy. We leave the shower room door open and the air continues to circulate from there. The dehumidifier switches on and off as required. It spots when we have showers, it knows when the relative humidity is okay, and just works when it has to. For me, because the landing is relatively warm in our house, it's around about 20, maybe 22 degrees centigrade, I know that every time I empty a bucket full of water from the 20L, that basically I've paid as little as I possibly could in terms of electricity for that 5 litres of water or so within the bucket. So for me, I like the machine because personally I think it looks good. It's very quiet, it doesn't disturb our sleep, it does the job, gives me the results that I want at home, and it does so very cheaply. So all round, that's why I choose the 20L for my home rather than anything else. Like all of the Meaco dehumidifiers, it's got a very simple to use control panel, so it's quite intuitive. There's no complicated numbers or references to relative humidity to worry about. It's got a very strong and sturdy handle, strong wheels underneath just to allow it to be easy to move around, which are hidden by what we call the low skirt on the machine, so you can't see the wheels underneath. Nicer design. All too often we see lazy design whereby you have a dehumidifier that stops somewhere about here and you just end up with 4 black casters underneath, and just get this white plastic box sitting on these black knobs underneath. Just doesn't look very nice. I think the finish to the 20L is much nicer. On the back of the dehumidifier it's got this filter. This is where the air is drawn in. It's an antibacterial filter, so any bacteria in the air that comes into contact with the filter will be killed. The water is created on cooling coils behind the filter because this is a compressor dehumidifier. So down the bottom of the machine we've got the compressor, just like you've got on your fridge at home. That forces the refrigerant around the machine into these cooling coils on the back. They create a cold surface, just like the cold surface on your windows creates condensation. Well, the cold surface in the dehumidifier in this case is creating condensation. That water dribbles down into the tank at the bottom. When that's full, the dehumidifier turns off, you take the tank out, pour the water away, and then you're able to put the tank back into the dehumidifier and off you go again. Now the way the 20L works is via the control panel, and I'll just run you through the different controls on that. So here we have the control panel on the 20L. On-off button over here. This first indicator here tells you if the tank is full. This light tells us that it's dehumidifying, and should you end up using the dehumidifier below 16 degrees C, this light will tell you when it starts to defrost. You've got the choice of 2 fan speeds. This is the fan speed I tend to keep it on at home, on the double fan speed, but you can reduce the fan speed and the noise very slightly because the fan runs slightly slower by just pressing this button here. So that button just takes you between the 2 fan speeds. Next we've got a timer, so the machine will turn off automatically after 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours or 8 hours. That's useful if you're drying laundry, so that you could leave the dehumidifier with your laundry in a small room before you go out to work. Close the door, leave it on the laundry mode, and then the machine would turn off after 2 hours, for example, or 4 hours, depending on how large a load you've got of laundry to wash, or to dry rather. You've done the washing. And over here on the side we've got the humidistat settings. So at the moment it's on the laundry mode, and by pressing the button I can take you through the different modes. So at the top here, that's it drying to its maximum down at 40% relative humidity. Here's our recommended setting with the thumbs up, and you'll see the dehumidifier, you might notice there on the video, has just turned itself off. That's because the relative humidity is below this set point, so it says that's everything absolutely fine. What will happen now is that the dehumidifier will wake up in about 30 minutes. It will run its fan for a minute or so just to check the relative humidity within the room. If it finds that the relative humidity has gone up because we've had a shower or we're doing some cooking, then it will turn itself on and it will start to dehumidify again. If it finds that everything's actually okay and fine, then it will go back to sleep for another half an hour and it will wake up again in 30 minutes. This control logic is unique to Meaco and gives you an excellent balance between achieving the correct relative humidity in the home, making sure that things like your doors, your furnishings, your wardrobes, your books and any clothes aren't absorbing all the moisture, and allowing the dehumidifier to capture that moisture, and ensuring that you use as little electricity as possible. The other option here is the single droplet. In UK homes you're not going to be using that too often. Our preferred setting on all of our dehumidifiers is where the thumbs up is, and that's where I'd recommend that you keep the dehumidifier in daily use. Really, you're going to be looking at the thumbs up setting majority of the time, the t-shirts or the laundry mode when you want to dry your washing, and when we have a cold snap during the winter, then I would go for the 3 droplets just to push the relative humidity down lower within the space, so that you get less condensation or no condensation in your windows when it's particularly cold outside. So that's all there is to the control panel. It's very, very simple. So that really is all there is to the dehumidifier. It's a beautifully simple machine. To prolong the life of your dehumidifier and get the best out of it, all you have to do is keep the filter clean. So when you're doing your hoovering and you're going around, just take the filter off the back of the machine, run the hoover over it, both sides, keep that filter clean. It's an antibacterial filter, so you don't want to be running it under the tap and washing it with water. Just run the hoover over it. That's all you've got to do to keep your dehumidifier in tip-top condition. So if you're going past it with the hoover, say once a week, make that part of your weekly routine. That will stop the dirt from getting inside onto these cooling coils, and it will maintain the airflow going through the machine. The bucket's got a nice cover on the top, so it means that when you're carrying the water through to the sink, then you're not going to spill any. Nice little feature, nice grab handle, and a little reminder on the bucket on all of our dehumidifiers: have you cleaned my filter to keep me healthy? There you go, we're trying to ram home that message. Keep the filter clean and you'll have a long and happy relationship with your dehumidifier. So there you got it, the dehumidifier that I personally use at home. It's certainly the favourite within our family, does the job for us, the Meaco 20L. If you've got any more questions, then please do get in touch with us. You can use the Ask a Question button on the 20L product page, send an email to sales@meaco.com, or you can phone us on 01 483 234 900. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.